Hey guys, can you believe it? We have owned this Raptor for about a month now, and in this video, I'm going to tell you, well, everything I love and hate about it, including taking it for a ride and showing you the cool stuff and the not so cool stuff. So let's get started with number 5 on my list of things I really like about it, and that is right here. Yep, those tires. Those are all-terrain BFGs, and the really cool thing about them is once upon a time, there used to be like winter tires, snow tires, summer tires, and all seasons, which were ironically M&S rated or mud and snow rated, but that didn't mean that they actually worked in the snow. In fact, they didn't work in the snow, yet these, Tommy, show them.
Well, these are snow rated, and you can tell that because they've got the little snowflake right there. And what's cool about this is it's a proper all-terrain tire that works in temperatures below 44 degrees, so the compound stays nice and soft, and you get good grip on snow and the ice, which is definitely a key thing up here in Keystone, Colorado.
Yeah, especially with snow. So now I've got basically an all-terrain tire that works in the snow. That's really cool. Don't have to switch out tires. The other thing that we've done to it, of course, is we've done this. We've put on this soft topper. Now, in the video where we published us putting it on and showing how it works, a lot of you said, well, you don't like the look of it. I kind of like it. I think it looks really military, you know, really kind of utilitarian. And a lot of you complain that it's not very secure, and that's true. I mean, if you put something in there, you can unvelcro it, you can unbutton it, but let's say there's 5 of you and you're going on vacation or you're going to the airport, where do you put your luggage? The problem is you only got one place, and that's the bed. And if it rains or snows, your luggage is going to get wet. And at least this is weatherproof. So yeah, it may not be ideal when it comes to security, but it certainly is weatherproof. And the other cool thing is, if you watch that video, you can actually, like the convertible top, very easily just take the whole thing, fold it forward, and then you can put things like motorcycles in there or use it as a regular pickup truck bed.
Okay, what's next, Ed?
Well, the other thing I don't like about it is the exhaust note. So what I'm going to do, Tommy, is I'm going to jump in. You let them hear the exhaust note, then you jump in, because there is a difference between what it sounds like on the outside and on the inside.
Now, this generation of Raptor is only available with the twin-turbo V6, the EcoBoost 3.5 liter, 450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, it doesn't sound so good on the outside, I have to say. But let's go for a quick ride and see what it sounds like on the inside.
I almost ran you over. I almost ran into a sign. Sorry about that. But luckily, with these snow tires, I have plenty of traction. So I take it you told them what was going on, you know, on the inside here.
I did not. So basically, what they do is they augment the exhaust note with computers to make it sound a little bit better than it does. So let's kind of hit a bigger road here, and we can kind of show them what it sounds like. Yeah.
So they pipe the sound in, which would be cool if, Tommy, they would actually allow you to change that sound, right? So if you're gonna fake the engine note, why not give me a V8 burble, or heck, a V16 burble, or, you know, I don't know, pick, you know, a TIE Fighter like Tesla's doing right now. Tesla just announced that you can get a TIE Fighter sound coming out of their vehicles. And so it would be cool if Ford actually went the extra step and did that. So let me get out of this old neighborhood, then I'll give it a little bit of the beans, and you can listen to what it sounds like in here. And well, before we do that, the other thing I love about this truck is this right here. And that is, of course, your 2 high, 4 auto, 4 high, and 4 low. Now, a lot of trucks still don't have a 4 auto. And basically what 4 auto does is it allows you to drive around on ice, snow, and here's the important part, dry, right? Because oftentimes you have a mixture of both without the truck crabbing. So it allows basically the 4-wheel drive system to act as if it's got an open differential, which allows for much easier turning of the vehicle.
And I'm not quite sure how it works in the Raptor. It might be rear-wheel drive, and then it kicks into 4-wheel drive when it's into slip. So let me know in the comment section below. I have to kind of do some more digging into that. Yeah, but the net result is that you can leave it in 4 auto regardless of the kind of the terrain you're on, and it'll compensate for the various different slip factors.
Yeah, the other thing I love about this, I think we're up to number 2 now, we're counting down, is this massive steering wheel, Tommy, especially in this vehicle because it's heated. I could just wrap my fingers around the steering wheel all day long. It's that great. And these actual paddle shifters are nice and big. And you know what, Tommy? They're cold. You know what that means?
You need gloves? Oh.
No, that means that they're real. And you know, that's cool. It kind of goes to the fact that, you know, you've got a high performance truck. And Tommy, the number one thing I like about this truck, what do you think that is?
I think it's the fuel economy.
No, that's what I hate about this truck. But let me show you. I'll give it a little bit of the beans. And we're up here at, get this, Tommy, 9,000 feet above sea level, right?
Yep.
I got people here. I don't want to scare
you don't want to scare the folks here.
I don't want to scare the folks. I'll wait till we get on the bigger road.
So this is the latest sync system here. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. This is the previous generation sync system in this 2020 Raptor, and it is solidly okay, but it does have some annoying functions. Occasionally it glitches out and is slow to respond. We've had to reboot it a couple times when it gets really cold outside, but for the most part it's a pretty usable system.
And this guy not turning in front of me, Tommy.
Oh, it's
oh, he's two-wheel drive. Okay.
Yeah, he's a two-wheel drive F-150.
Yeah.
Oh no, he is four-wheel drive.
He's not in 4x4. See?
He's got to stick it in. If he had 4 auto,
then he'd be good.
Okay, here's the main road.
Let me give it the beans here. 4 auto, giving it the beans. So that's all fake. But I love the power.
Yeah, it goes like stink.
Yeah, this 3.5 liter EcoBoost, you know, never short of power. I know there's no replacement for displacement, but still, you know, for a big old truck, and it's a big old truck, right? It's really good. You know, when we get the TRX, maybe that'll reset the bar when you go over 700 horsepower. But for right now, I never feel like I have you know, a dearth of power. So let's talk about the things that you guys have been waiting for, right? The things that I don't like about it. Let's start with that. Show them that, Tommy. You see that? Look at that. That's like cheap plastic with cheap fake metal coating it, and it's already starting to peel off. And keep in mind, this truck was built not over a year ago. And when we bought this truck, there were 3 problems with it. That was number 1. Number 2, we didn't have the key. And number 3, we had this broken mirror switch. The dealership has fixed that, given us another key, so thank you very much. But they have yet to order this and replace it. I think they ordered it, they just haven't replaced it yet. But you know, when you get something, you want it to be perfect. But there is, you know, still kind of a lot of plastics, and especially when you compare this to what Ram's doing now, it's a little, you know, below the $77,000 threshold that I'd love to see.
I think that is the craziest part about this truck, is the fact that it is $77,000. I mean, that is a lot of money to spend on anything, especially a pickup truck. But that's what Ford asks for them, and we've seen dealers trying to get a lot more than that for them as well. Some cases marking them up over $100,000. Now this is the 2020 model. There is supposed to be a new Raptor coming either this year or next year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a 2022, so there won't be a 2021 model, but there will be a new one that's a 2022 now. My fuel economy is the next thing. That's number 4. If you look right there, you can see 15.9, which, you know, there's that old saying with EcoBoost, it's either Eco or Boost. You don't get both. And that's certainly the case. Our old Raptor, we had the first generation Raptor for 55,000 miles. I think that averaged around 14. I'm getting 2 MPG better, which isn't grand, you know. I mean, and we're not even driving it that hard. If you really get into the boost, I bet you that would go down to easily 15s or the 14s if you really started to work this truck.
The other thing about that Raptor we had, the 2014, it was very well equipped. It had the was it the 801A package, and that had an MSRP of about 55 grand, I want to say. So this one is over $20,000 more. Of course, I'm sure we had some inflation since 2014, but still, I mean, that's a lot of money more.
Yeah, but look at that massive sunroof we got, Tommy. Look at that. That's a whole roof, dude.
Will it print me money, Dad?
It won't print your money. All right, so that's number 4. Number 3 is the ride. You know, the old one didn't have active Fox shocks. It just had regular Fox shocks, and it rode like a 1970s Cadillac. I would say the ride on this one, I think Ford would call it controlled. I'd call it choppy. What do you think?
It's just not as floaty as the old one. So the old one did have this kind of just waft as you would go down the road. The new one is much more, let's say, sporty in its nature. It's definitely firmer over bumps. And like you said, Ford will tell you that when you're really moving at desert-like speeds, it's great to have that control. But every day, I'm not typically cruising down the desert, and it's nice just being able to totally squish any obstacle that, like the old one. But yeah, that's what they went to. It's also that live wire technology, right, Dad?
Yeah, exactly. So it's active, and you can adjust some of the parameters, but overall, I kind of wish it were more, you know, I said 70s Cadillac, let's call it a desert truck or a Baja truck, right? Where you feel like you can take on anything that the desert has to throw at you and still just kind of keep up your speed. This feels a little bit almost too controlled, almost sports car-like in some ways. All right, number 2, Tommy, is this. And we did a video about like the traffic notifications that keep popping up here in sync. And we still have yet to figure out how to disable those. And, you know, there were hundreds of comments and nobody actually knew how to do it. We read through most of those comments and not one of them told me how to do it. The best thing we could figure out is actually delete the Sirius app so that it doesn't throw those. But there should just be a straightforward way of clicking something so that I don't get those mods. I hate when things try to overthink you. And you know, to be fair, you have that Jeep Gladiator, and the Uconnect does the same thing.
So in the Ford, we thought it would be a navigation setting, for example. The general consensus, it's something to do with the XM Travel Link. And I haven't yet been able to find a way to totally delete it or get rid of it. Basically, in hazardous conditions, it just keeps popping up. This road is a hazard. This road is a hazard. You may not even be anywhere near that road, so it's annoying.
And the worst thing about it is, once it pops up, it stays up there. It doesn't like disappear within a minute or two, right?
We have to click OK.
You have to click OK, like the thing is like bad, bad, bad. You have to make sure that the attorneys at Ford understand that these roads are bad, and so we'll make them unclick it. It's just really frustrating.
But apart from that, I think the center stack is super usable in the Raptor. You've got both volume and tune knobs, which is great. Hard button presets, buttons here for your climate control as well as your temperature adjustments. Heated and cooled seat settings there. This one does have the carbon fiber package, which I think is hilarious in a truck that weighs like 9 neighborhoods. But it's there, it's an option. The B&O sound system is really, really good. It does have these 6 auxiliary switches up here, which we haven't wired up to anything. But the interior is pretty good, and the seats are good too. You like the seats?
Yeah, I love the seats. Let's talk about that. That's my bonus number 1 plus that I really like about this truck. The seats are super comfortable. If you get the Recaros, you're going to lose that comfort. They're much more grippy. Me being of wide girth and big belly, I like these seats because, let's face it, they're truck-like seats. And truck-like seats are the best seats in the entire world, Tommy. All right, what's the thing you don't like about this? And I'll tell you mine after you tell me yours.
Well, I think it's a little big for everyday driving. I mean, it's definitely a wide vehicle, and it's tricky to park in parking lots. And you know, we don't live in a huge city, but Boulder is fairly big with a fair number of tight spaces, and it's just hard to maneuver. Maybe because I'm a crap driver, according to the YouTube comments, but it's probably my biggest complaint. It's not great for around town.
Yeah, and my thing has nothing to do with the truck, but it has everything to do with the owners of the truck, right? It's, well, let's face it, the Raptor has become the super, well, until the TRX, kind of the super truck of the entire truck lineup, right? And especially ours with that big Raptor on the side, because we got the sticker package, because, well, it came with it, screams that you are driving a Raptor. And me, I never feel comfortable being that ostentatious. I always feel much more comfortable like in just a basic truck, like a little, Yoda, baby Yoda there, where you kind of blend in. And this feels like you're screaming, I've got a ton of money, and I like, flaunting it, kind of like you're driving a Ferrari. And that goes really against the grain of what pickup trucks are for, right? Because most pickup trucks are utilitarian vehicles. They're not meant to show off, and yet the Raptor has kind of become that. Maybe with the new TRX coming, that image will, fade, because now the TRX will be the new super truck of the bunch. But yeah, in general, that's the thing that bugs me the most about it. It's just so ostentatious.
There's one more thing we should say. So up here in Suffolk County, we got a bunch of trails that are snowed over right now, but we tackle in the summer, and the truck does not fit in said trails. It's a tight squeeze between a lot of the trees. So if you live in a desert environment, it can be great, but I really struggle with it off-road, because this is my viewpoint when driving a Raptor. You ready? It's like fender flare. Fender flare, fender flare, fender flare, front fender flare.
Let's go outside and wrap up this video.
Okay, let's wrap it up then. I do like the red, Dad. I think it's a nice color.
Yeah, you know, they told me that this color is the least popular. That's why it sat in a Kansas City dealership somewhere for a year before people bought it, because this is, you know, there's two reds, right? There's that kind of that really bright red, and then there's this kind of darker candy apple red. I love it too. I've grown to love it. But, you know, guys, let us know in the comments below if we're off base or on base with the things that we love and hate about this truck. You know, hopefully next week, if all goes well, we'll be picking up our TRX in Detroit and driving it, road tripping it back home, and then we'll do a whole bunch of different comparisons. I think if the weather is good, we're definitely going to go do some more serious off-roading and see, you know, just how good the TRX is off-road compared to the Raptor. I can't wait, Tommy.
All right, well, see you guys next time, and thank you for watching.